really don't understand why everyone hates the ZV-E10. It's such a nice and small and beautiful camera, while they recommend the A6400 to the heavens. They just say that's such a good camera for YouTube. It's so amazing. It made my channel. This is just this A6400, cheaper, better, and newer. It has a better autofocus. It has a better color science. It has a flippy screen. It doesn't have, of course, the viewfinder, but that's not the point here. It also has a gyroscope. You can get almost gimbal-like footage if you go with the Catalyst browse. Sure, it's an extra step, but does that extra step really justify spending twice as much for the A66 or a full-frame camera? You might be saying that, of course, it's definitely worth it to get a full-frame camera. You get better background blur, you get bigger, smaller distances in between you and the camera, but everything, and I mean everything, becomes more expensive once you jump to a full frame. Everything. Cards, lenses, the body, everything becomes so much more expensive. Cages, batteries, everything becomes crazy expensive, okay? And people don't understand that you are shooting probably in a studio environment 95% of the time. Most video shooters are doing this kind of work. This is with the kit lens, and this is with the Sony 35 1.8. I have a light here with a nice shower curtain, and that's how good it can look. Of course, I'm not gonna do a big color grade because this is not a huge production. I don't want to spend too much time on this. This is the one take review of the ZV-E10. And why do people hate it? You can buy 3 of these with all 3 Sigma lenses. The Sigma lenses are amazing. I have the 56. I want to buy the 16 as well. They are amazing. 1.4 background blur to the moon. They are so good. The Sigmas, you can buy 3 cameras and 3 lenses, the Sigma lenses, for the price of the ZV-E1 or the Sony A7 III or the 7S III. You can buy even more for the A7S III or the A7 IV. And even if you go with Canon, that's not good enough. This is such a small and compact camera. That's the point. Most defects that people are talking about, they are not relevant whenever you are filming in the studio. And they always say that it's unusable for vlogging. It's not. Most of the jello and all the stabilization is so good with Catalyst browse that you cannot see yourself using something else and buying a full-frame camera once you see some footage. It fixes the jello effect, and it also fixes the stabilization with a 10% crop. It's nothing. 10% crop on a 16mm 1.4, it's nothing. It's amazing. It's quite heavy if you go, but if you want to vlog and do that, just buy the Pocket 3. It's such a better camera. It just out of the camera with almost full auto, you just get amazing results, stabilization, colors, everything that you need. But that's such a boring shot. Walking shots are so boring. You're just filming yourself and you're in the middle of the frame. Almost nothing is showing around. Well, if you have enough of a wide shot, but you're going to show something from your environment. But that brings me back to the full frame dilemma. Almost all cameras with IBIS, except some Panasonics and the A66000, they are so big, you're never ever gonna vlog with them. And also because your hand is just gonna hurt. And how long? Take notice, take notes. How long do you film outside handheld other people? And why, if you're filming other people, why wouldn't you just get a gimbal for this camera? It's $100 a gimbal, the Zion M2 or some stuff like that. It's amazing. It can go with the 16 mil. It's crazy good. And look at this footage. In the studio, you control everything from light, from background, from anything. So you don't need 10-bit color. HLG on this camera looks amazing with a few tweaks. You can do them in camera. If you have a certain thing that you like in the picture profile, you can lower things and add more magenta or add more blue or take more yellow out. Usually I take the yellow out and the reds, and it kind of is 95% there in the color grade, and you're always probably gonna fix some of the color grade anyway. And it is also easier on the computer. You don't have to spend $5,000 on a MacBook to just be able to open the files like with the, I don't know, a few years ago with the Canon 8K whatever, or the DJI drone footage. I used to know about that. Very painful. And that's the point here. You can buy everything cheaper on an APS-C, and you can never beat the price of the ZV-E10. And if you don't believe me, look at your marketplace. This is a better camera than the A6400, and the fact that it's always a secondhand and even new, cheaper than the A6400, then that proves it. There is a lot of hype surrounding the A6400, and if you buy into that hype, thinking that it's a better camera, it's not. It's a worse camera. The only thing that it has better is the viewfinder. But if you're buying this camera for video, don't buy it. Buy the ZV-E10 instead. It's such a better camera. It has so many more things that are useful for a filmmaker: product showcase mode, face priority, more autofocus points. Everything is better on this camera than the A6400. And if you really want IBIS, go for the A66. But I'm telling you, it's probably twice as expensive, so you could get two of these for the price of the A66. You cannot beat, if you find this at 450 without a lens or 550 with the lens, dollars or euros, unbeatable for a studio environment. And if you want to do vlogging, just get a small tripod. I think I have it around here. I don't. It's over there. Buy a small tripod like this. The king of vlogging, Casey Neistat, hates moving shots. He does them whenever he's establishing the fact that he's moving somewhere, he's going somewhere, but he hates just people randomly walking. He spends so much time being so careful to position his camera perfectly and then shoot and then go into the frame and then come closer to the camera. Just look at some videos of his and see how many times he walks around vlogging and how many times it's just standing there, the camera. Why? Because it's distracting. The camera shake, the camera movement, it's distracting for the viewer. You can move around the room, so you can vlog by using one of these very beautiful tripods, very cheap. And bonus tip, if you think that the full frame will help you in a small studio, it will not. It will, but you can do the same thing with the lens of the oh, sorry. I'm so sorry for doing it like this. Okay. You can do it with the lens, by wider lenses for the APS-C, way better, so much recommended. And also, you can do something else. Go outside of the room. People don't understand that you can go outside of a room in the hallway and shoot from there, or in the other room, or even in the bathroom, and the frames of the door will still not show, and you can get more distance, more bokeh, more whatever. And also, if you have a tight space, put a mirror and shoot from here. Have your camera here. It also looks very, very interesting to have a camera here while filming yourself. People will ask you, what are you filming? And you're actually going to say, I'm filming myself because I have a small studio on a mirror. That's such a great tip that nobody uses. Mirrors are amazing for distance. You take a mirror, you put it there, and you get more distance back, twice the distance, if not more, by just shooting from here. And you can even hide the camera and put the mirror at a 45-degree angle. Movie studios use this trick all the time to hide cameras behind mirrors. It's amazing, and you can do it to further your distance and get more bokeh in a small studio without the need of a full frame or the A6400. Well, the A6400 is going to be worse than this anyway. So that was all. I really don't understand why people don't recommend this as a studio camera and a YouTube camera and even a professional camera. You can do a lot with this camera. I have 3 of them and I love them to bits.